Hello and welcome to Elo Commentary. My name is Hutch, and today I'm going to be analyzing my own game rather than playing the game while commentating. So this is my friend. He's at a much higher Elo than I am, but I'd say we're about the same skill level. He just plays with his friends, so he winds up having a higher Elo. So he plays that. It's just every time. It's just that. But yeah, this time we get out the bishops. That's different. And then we get all the knights out, But I think the most interesting move in the opening is this one. Because I play here. And I sat there and thought about it for a while. And I was like, because if knight takes on d4, then I take with bishop, for example. And then if he takes with his queen, then I take with my horse. So we can't do that, right? He could take with his horse. But if I take, you can't do that. And it's just going to keep making threats that are really unfortunate and everything. And so I thought about it, and I was like, oh, because I recently learned about, this being a move, at all, and that is this. I had just recently thought about that as a move because I was analyzing my computer. I was like, oh, what do you do in this situation? And it did that. And I was like, what? Why? And I was like, oh my goodness, you're attacking the bishop. I never even thought about that. Whenever I put the knights forward, it usually takes me a lot of moves for the knight to move again. So his horse can take my bishop and it's free. So I could move it like a wuss. I could go bishop b4, but then he's just going to move his pawn, and then I could take, and then he could take, and then I can't take his pawn. So I'd have to retreat eventually. It'd just make his pawn structure look a little wonky. And there's other moves there as well. So I said, no, I'm just going to back it up, And he castles, and I actually thought about this one for a while. 20 seconds to be exact. And it's crazy that you can see that. But yeah, I was like, there's really no big way to develop, so I'm just gonna do that. And so he does go there, and so I don't take because I recognize that there is a hanging bishop. Ever since I moved my pawn up, I realized, oh, his bishop's hanging, but why didn't I go there yet? Oh, I didn't go there yet because he could go bishop b5, and he could pin my horse. And I don't like it whenever they pin my horse. I want my horse. So then I do it. And then he goes there, and the last game I played with him, he did the same thing, and I was like, why do people do that? Because people would do that. And he was like, oh, it can fork your queen and your king or whatever. But I'm castled. And castling, you can't get anything out of this. He can threaten my queen, but that won't do anything. You can't even threaten my queen because I know how to take. Anyway, so I'm like, what the flip are you doing? I'm taking your bishop. I just don't think he saw that. I just think that he forgot about my sneaky little bishop there. And so I take. And he didn't realize that was also threatening his rook. And every time this happens, every time that move happens, I see back rank checkmate. And you can see the entire game this playing through back rank checkmate. So I take, he takes, makes his pawn structure all funky. And then I do this. And that is a confusing as freak move. Because if I can't move my pawn forward because then he'll take my bishop. And so it's, can I take his pawn? If I take his pawn with my horse, then he can take with his horse, and then I take with my rook, and then he takes with his rook. So that's not a good idea. So I don't know. I think I get to a position where that becomes better. But I go here. Oh, yeah, because my bishop's there, I think. I don't even know, man. But, yeah, I put my pawn there because one, it protects the pawn, and two, it makes the horsey go away. So the horsey moves. And so I do move my pawn. Now I can do that because it doesn't have to protect that other bishop. Not to mention, it is protecting my other bishop that the horse is threatening. But I have another pawn doing that anyway, so it doesn't matter. But it does take anyway, and I take with that pawn because that reveals that move. And he goes there. There were a few moves here, but I don't think that was the one. I go here. And because if I didn't just want to take, because if I take, then his bishop moves. And I like how his bishop's kind of trapped. I mean, it's kind of not trapped, but there's no point in moving it anywhere, really. And I like that. So I wanted his queen to stay there. And if he takes, then I take. And so also if his bishop moves, then there's 2 rooks on the back rank, and that eliminates opportunities for back rank checkmate. Again, I really wanted it. And again, you'll see that through the video. So then he moves over there, which I remember whenever he did that, I said that was a bad move. I just remember that. So I go there. So, yeah, now we're playing out this idea that I had earlier. Yeah, that's right. The idea that I had earlier. So if I go there, I really considered, should I take with the horse or should I take with the rook? And after a lot of thinking, I said, I'm going to do it with the rook. I'm going to just go for it. So obviously he's going to take with the knight. And so I take with the horsey, because what I'm going to do with the queen. And he doesn't take, obviously, because that would literally just be mate in 1. But he does go there. And I am so happy, because look at my bishop. Right? See where it's going? It's got the king in sight. Now look at my horsey. Now the one on the left, not the one on the right. Look at my horsey. My horsey can take that pawn on f2 and put that brother in check. And I said, holy guacamole, I'm in one of those positions. So I go, bam, let's do it. And so he has one move. Boom. So I say bet. I go here, and guess what? Guess where his queen is? Right there. A horsey can now take his queen, and he has to move because his king is in check with my bishop. So he goes there, and I take his queen, and he takes with the rook. Now, I go there. Am I missing anything from that? So I called this, I put in the chat, said, holy fork. I was like, is he cooked? Because look how long he took. It took 2 minutes of thinking. And he found that move. So he was chilling. So I can't take anything there, but I can do this. Take a little bit here. Take a little bit. Take, I don't know. Good 10 seconds. Analyze my position here. Really look at what's going on. Especially these rooks. Really soak it in. Right? Do you see it? No! I wanted it so bad, bro. Because if he moves his rook anywhere else, and I go queen e1, it's mate. I wanted it so bad. And he goes there. And I go here. And he goes here. Whatever, man. But that was his first win against me out of 3. So it was inevitable, I guess. But yeah, that's how that went.